Hello again and welcome to another Nick Beck's Watch Reviews. Today, as you can see with the Accurist logos around, I'm going to review this new Accurist Origin watch. I've just received it in the post and just want to give you a sort of basic opinion, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, blah blah blah. You know, watched lots of my reviews in the past, so everybody knows how I work. I'm pretty amateur, it's just a hobby, but you know, I do enjoy it. So before I start, let me just say again, as I always say, because I'm so grateful, thank you to everybody that's watched my videos, all my subscribers, all my new subscribers, all my existing subscribers, everybody that's made comments, always fascinating to read. All the support I get from the other watch channels. I must mention the Bombardier, fantastic. Please, if you get a chance, have a look at some of his videos. You know, they are second to none. They really are brilliant stuff. And then there's a couple of guys in America. I love watching Teddy Baldassare. I think he's fantastic. Urban Gentry, love. The list just goes on and on. So, you know, there's plenty of viewing for us boring watch nerds out there. So, like I say, thanks to everybody. Quick mention to Bricktop. Again, always post nice comments. So thanks, Bricktop, you're a star. Yeah, like I say, I'd now like to move on to this watch. This is brand new. This is from the new Accurist range. I'm going to very quickly bring it up to the camera so you can have a quick look. There it is in all its glory, with its beautiful textured dial, blue hands, blue rim around the case there. But before I actually do, I'm just going to say a little bit about Accurist, because probably like every guy or lady in England that's had a watch at some point in their lives, back in the 80s, 70s and obviously the 60s, have probably had an Accurist watch. As you know, I've recently had the Accurist Retro Racer, which I absolutely adore. You know, great review on that, and great feedback on that. Love it, fantastic value for money. Yeah, so like I say, I haven't had an Accurist watch until recently, but before that, probably the last Accurist watch I had was back in the 1990s. So, you know, a good 20 years ago. I remember having my first, what I would have called expensive watch. It cost £80, and it was an Accurist diver's watch, and it had 100 meters of water resistance and a bezel that clicked. It was absolutely fantastic, and it was quite heavy and chunky, and I thought, I really sort of made it because I had this fantastic watch. Then I had an Accurist chronograph shortly afterwards, and that was a lovely watch. That cost £100, and back then it seemed like a lot of money. Now it's, I think the most I've spent on a watch was probably my Omega Titanium Seamaster that was probably getting on for £4,000. It's crazy. I'm not sure I'd ever spend that money on a watch again. I'm not sure it's worth it. But anyway, so yeah, a bit about Accurist. Accurist were established in Clerkenwell in London in 1946. They are an independent company as far as I know, and they've been building watches for the last 76 years, I think it is, that's 76, 77 years. Over the years, I think they've gone more for the cheaper end of the market, bit budget kind of watch, always nice. I've never had an issue with an Accurist watch. Like I say, haven't had one for 20 years. So, they've always kind of aimed at the more kind of budget side of watches. I say cheap and cheerful, that's probably a bit unfair on them. Nice quality, but cheaper than say Seiko or Citizen, kind of, just above. I'd put them probably above Seconda. That's probably a good way of putting it, somewhere around there. Anyway, that's just my personal opinion. Please post plenty of comments on that, because again, I don't really know a great deal about Accurist watches until recently. And out come the Retro Racer, which is, I think, an absolutely phenomenal watch for the money. Absolutely. I don't think you could spend a better £62 on a nicer watch, maybe a Casio G-Shock if you're lucky enough to get one that cheap. But absolutely phenomenal, cracking nice watch. So, as I say, that's the recent one. And then suddenly, online, I see Accurist have this brand new brand launch with, you know, the new cases. I mean, you get this lovely kind of leatherette case, and I'll just open that up to show you that your watch comes in, which I think is pretty amazing, really. I mean, I've spent much more money on a watch and not got something like that. You have the premium box, like I say, the premium case, which I'm just going to pop her up behind the camera so I don't forget. Yeah, the premium case, everything seems to come in a much nicer packaging. And even this little box that I got with it has got Accurist London. It's about time. So they really upped their game. Aside from all the packaging, the watches have really, in my opinion, jumped right up. I think they're slightly more expensive. This particular one was £150. But when I bring this up to the camera and show you around the watch, you'll kind of see what I mean. They have a new diver range, which has screw-down crowns, sapphire crystal, 200-meter water resistant. This is from the Origin range. This has a sapphire crystal. It's, in my opinion, a very pretty watch. You know, I'm really quite impressed with it. So let me, without further ado, bring it up to the camera and show you around and tell you what I think. So first of all, as you can see, it's kind of this, I'd say, I don't really want to take anything away from Accurist, but you've got this kind of Tissot PRX case shape. You know, there's no getting away from that. I'm not sure if Tissot actually come up with the design. I don't really know, but it's certainly, you know, very similar. But bringing it right up to the camera, you can see there are quite a lot of design features that Accurist have come up with. And as you can see, it's got this kind of white waffled, almost brick style design on the dial. You've got your blue applied indices all the way round and your minute and seconds track. You have Accurist in script. Again, that's written in blue. I don't know if the camera's actually picking that up, but everything is blue on this watch. You have, if I bring it right up there, you have your 100 meters, 330 feet water resistance, established in 1946 in London. These have a Japanese movement, and I do believe it's Miyota, but please, you know, if anybody knows better, please tell me. It's a Japanese quartz movement, so, you know, hence your kind of ticking hand. I haven't actually taken the pin out of this guy to start the watch, because I'm actually sending it back because I've actually ordered a different Accurist watch. You've got a fairly kind of straight, I don't know what you call them, probably sort of fence post hands, again in blue with lots of lume, and I will show you a lume shot. And then you have the blue second hand, and it's very kind of like a pin almost, with a little lume pip, so I'd say 3/4 of the way down. Around the edge of the bezel, and I wasn't sure about that, and this is the reason I'm actually going to send it back and get a different Accurist watch, is it has a polished edge, a polished bezel, but it's actually in blue. Now personally, I'd have preferred that in just plain stainless steel, because it goes with the rest of the case, and even if it was brushed, I think it would look nice. But moving round, you know, let's not criticise that, because that's just a design feature that doesn't suit me. It may suit other people. So there we go. You have the Accurist sign crown, little A there. Let's just tilt that the right way. Oh, I can't, because it's actually, oh, I can. There we go. Because like I say, I haven't taken the little plug out of this to start the watch, because I think it's, you know, it's going to go to somebody else, and it's not fair. They want a brand new box fresh watch. So you've got, going back to the case, you've got a a brushed finish on the case. Now the lug width on this the lug width is 20, so that's the strap size, 20 millimeters. The case size on this measures in at 41, but it's quite angular, as you can see. It's the lug's actually sloped down. Now the lug to lug on this, and I will post up some wrist shots. The lug to lug on this I've measured at 52, but as you can see, it absolutely slopes down. So once the bracelet or the watch strap is on your wrist, it does fit really, really beautifully. It's a lovely fitting watch. And like I say, I will actually post up some wrist shots. So moving back to the dial, you can see you've got a slightly domed sapphire crystal, which was the first thing that impressed me about this watch. You know, and I think that's Accurist upping their game there. A sapphire crystal. I mean, £150, you can spend, I don't know, £250 on a Seiko 5 or even a Seiko chronograph with a quartz movement, and you still don't get sapphire crystal. So, you know, I sound like I always criticise Seiko. I don't mean it. Seiko I love. I think they're fabulous watches. I just think, you know, there's a lot of competition out there now, and even Accurist are kind of, you know, chomping at your heels. So, but going back to the case, so you've got this really kind of smooth, faceted case, and everything on it is very, very nicely brushed, and it seems to be done very, very well. I'm no professional on these things, but it seems to be done very well. Like I say, you've got your crown at 3 o'clock, which is just the standard push-pull crown because this has 100 meters of water resistance. You've got your date wheel at 19, I beg your pardon, at 3 o'clock. And as you can see, it's the 19th on this one. And it's negative, so it's actually really nice and easy to read. It's black on white, so that's, you know, that's really impressive. Flipping the watch over, and this is really quite nice. You have this brushed screw down case back, and it's got a bit of a sunburst brushing on it, and it has a map of London and the London skyline. Let's bring that right up to the camera. You can see St Paul's, you can see Tower Bridge. I think there's a few bits, Houses of Parliament. I think that's Big Ben, and you've got your sapphire crystal, water resistance 100 meters, and then at the bottom is the, oh, it says there, Origin Japan. I didn't actually notice that, so it's a Japanese movement. So I'm assuming that's a Miyota. However, I'm not 100% sure, but I have heard somebody say it's a Seiko quartz. But anyway, you know, like I say, answers on a postcard or answers in the comments, I'll be grateful for. So like I say, going back to the case back, you've got a lovely screw down case back, and that lovely kind of London skyline silhouette engraved, which I think is really, really nice. You can see this strap is a nylon kind of sailcloth strap in blue, and you have this lovely brushed Accurist signed buckle. Flipping it over, you have Accurist on the leather insert, if I can get that to come into focus. It doesn't look like it's going to happen today. So, oh, would you believe it? We're not, there we go. You got lovely Accurist signed on the back of the strap. Now the strap is lovely. It's very soft and supple, very easy to put on. It's just really nice and comfortable, and that leather lining really makes it a treat to wear. And as you can see, now these seem to be on every single new Accurist watch at the moment. Quick release bars, spring bars. I think that is a really, really good way forward. And, you know, again, it's a great shout out to all the other watch brands. I think they really could do with doing that with all the straps. Now this, I've seen bracelets on the new versions of the Accurist, on the new range. They all have quick release spring bars, which I think is a really clever thing to do. And then you've got plenty of adjustment there. Flipping the watch back over, like I say, it's the thing that's put me off is that blue polished bezel. If that had been brushed or if it had just been plain stainless steel, I'd have definitely been keeping this watch. However, what I've decided to do, I've decided to swap it for an aviation Flieger on their new range, which is just a very kind of basic, plain, black dialed Flieger. It's a quartz, but I just really like it. And judging by the quality of this watch, I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go because I really love Fliegers. I really wanted a dress watch, and that's why I went for this originally. But like I say, for some reason, I just can't get on with that blue. Maybe it's because there's just a little bit too much blue. But all things considered, I have to say it, this is an extremely nice watch for the money. 150 quid I think is pretty bang on. You know, I think it's probably, you know, if it was £200 I'd probably be quite happy to pay that. So yeah, it's really bang on. And what I love is that dial. I think that dial with the blue handset, that kind of brickwork, I think it's what you call it. It's very nicely executed. It's very crisp. It's very sharp. There's not too much script on the face, and in certain lights it becomes sort of like a silvery colour. It's got a bit of a sunburst effect, but in certain lights it's very kind of brilliant white, if you like. And also you get, every now and again, you kind of get like a shade on it, and it looks like a cream dial, which gives it quite a retro look. So, you know, all things considered, with the exception of the blue bezel, I like this watch. I think it's a very, very nice watch. I think maybe it could do with a AR coating, anti-reflective coating, because as you can see there is a bit of reflection there. However, if I catch it in the light, you can also see there's a bit of a blue glare as well. So there could be an AR coating on there. Maybe it just needs a little bit more. So enough said. I hope you like the I hope you like the review. I hope you don't mind my honesty, and you know, if you get a chance, have a look at the Accurist website, because like I say, they've got some really, really nice new watches in their range, and I think this could be the way forward for Accurist. I think they really could, you know, hit the nail on the head and start competing with the bigger boys like Seiko and certainly Citizen, who I think at the moment in the mid-range of the cheaper watches, let's say, the more reasonably priced, seem to get it right most of the time. Just my opinion, pretty humble opinion. But anyway, please leave some comments, and again, thanks to everybody for watching, pardon the pun. Thank you for everybody that's subscribed. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so please, if you would be so kind, please subscribe, because I think I've run out of family and friends. So I shall leave you there. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Again, please subscribe and hit that like button. Again, my name's Nick, and it's a great pleasure doing these reviews. So everybody stay safe, and let's get through this very miserable, very dull and very rainy January together. Take care now. Bye-bye.